Hello, wherever you are. I hope you are doing perfectly fine. Welcome to our today's introduction to journalism classes. And today we are going to discuss about barriers to effective communication. As we all know, communication is the most effective way of passing information from one person to the other. Despite the fact that every human being needs to socialize, we are saying that you have barriers or is distractors of effective communication. And we are going to discuss some of the distractors of effective communication, or we can call them the hindrances of effective communication or the challenges of effective communication. And you're going to find that one of the main challenges of effective communication is what we call noise. Noise is anything that is going to obstruct the understanding capability of the recipient of a specific message. And noise can either be internal or else can be external. Internal noise whereby someone is distracted mentally, or else inside he is having a lot of things, or she is having a lot of information that is distracting or affecting his concentration of whatever we are talking or he is reading about. So internal noise always affect the understanding capacity of any individual who is receiving any kind of information. Noise can also be external. When we are talking about external noise, we are referring to the environment where the information is being communicated. If you are at a noise place, the probability of the listener being distracted from what is happening outside, or else what he is seeing outside, it is very high compared to when someone is at a conducive environment with a limited distraction. So you need to ensure that you are able to control all these particular noise, either internal noise or external noise. Then you have what we call attitude or perception. When you're talking about attitude, this is the way the recipient of the message has the relationship between the recipient of the message and the communicator of that particular message. We are having a negative attitude between the sender of the message and the receiver of the message. The understanding capability of that particular message is going to be very low, simply because you have a negative attitude toward the speaker of the message. If you have a positive attitude toward the speaker of the message, then there is very high probability that you're going to understand whatever he or she is talking about. So you need to change your attitude in order to be able to become an effective listener or as an effective communicator. Then there is what we call the language being used. The language you use is going to determine the understanding of that particular information you are disseminating to your targeted audiences. If the understanding capability of your audience is very low, they need to use simple language, because they are able to understand a simple language compared to a complex language. Come up with the most appropriate language that can be able to understood by your targeted audiences. The language you are going to use to communicate to primary kids is totally different with the language you are going to demonstrate or else to use when you are communicating to university students. So you need to come up with the most appropriate language that can be able to be understood by your targeted audiences. Do not use archaic verbs. Do not use jargons in your communication. Just be simple once you understand your target audience and ensure that your message is effectively communicated. Then you have another distractor of effective communication, what we call a relationship between the sender and the receiver. If you're having a negative relationship between the sender and the receiver, then the understanding capability of that particular information you're communicating is going to be very low. But now, if there's a positive relationship or else a good relationship between the sender of the message and the recipient of the message, then there is very high chances that you are going to understand the message being communicated. Another distractor can be out of culture. If someone is communicating information that is against your culture, then you are likely to develop a negative attitude to whatever he or she is talking about. But now, if you are always sailing together in the same culture, which means you are having the same norms, you are having the same culture, you are able to be able to understand each other without any kind of struggling or straining to be able to understand what someone is talking about. For example, if you are supporting FGM, when someone talks about against FGM, you can be able to give him a positive attitude. But now, if you are supporting that particular culture and somebody is talking about the topic which you love, you are most likely to be able to pay more attention and concentrate on whatever that is being communicated. Then you have the time of communication. You need to choose the most appropriate time of communication. There's some messages maybe you need to talk to your audiences in the morning hours. There is some information is better communicated during the night hours. There is some information that can better be communicated during the daytime. Time can also refer to the duration of the communication. Some people are easily distracted if you need your communication is very long. So you need to ensure that you understand the nature of the audience whom you are tackling or else whom you are dealing with. If your statement is very long, many people are going to be bored with whatever you are communicating and they won't be able to pay attention. So have a most appropriate time frame of your message that will ensure you are going to have a specific duration. It can be 10 minutes, can be 15 minutes, but within this particular time frame, the audience will still be paying attention. But now if you are talking and the audience is not paying attention, you are just wasting your time. So ensure that you communicate within the most appropriate time frame in order to ensure that the message has been sent home and the audience are still paying attention. Thank you for your time. Next time we are going to discuss about the way of overcoming all these barriers to effective communication. Let's meet next time, same place.